Right, listen up. We're going in hard and rough. No point in playing tough. We're going in hard and rough.
Hello and welcome to haQ attaQ. My name is Jakob. I'm your host and you're watching a haQ attaQ episode. This is KORG Gadget and you're watching the fourth and final part of the 8-bit dubstep production tricks series, in where we will be going through the vocal section of this track. So if you missed part 1, 2 or 3, then you can click this card to access a playlist in where all the parts are collected. You can also find a link down in the description. Right, so let's get into this. These vocals weren't initially recorded directly into Gadget. No, they went through another app before they ended up in these three Swedish gadgets here. And that app is Cubase. So I was basically recording a live performance video where I was rapping, talking, whatever you might call it. I was doing it live anyway, the vocals I mean. And so I just exported a little part of this Gadget track and imported that as a waveform inside Cubase. And then I simply turned on the camera, turned on the recording inside Cubase and recorded my stuff. I did use the noise gate inside the channel strip, and then I also had to tweak a little bit with the equalizer because I had a weird angle towards the microphone and I was moving around, so I also had to put a little compressor in there. I basically just wanted an even vocal thing that I could then cut up in pieces and send to Gadget and process further. Right, so when I was done with that, I then proceeded with exporting the vocals and importing them into KORG Gadget using these three Swedish gadgets right here. And then I just systematically put a lot of effects on each Swedish gadget. And that is what we're gonna have a look at in this episode. Right, and we're gonna start with the first bit of vocals that can be heard. So I'm gonna turn all of the effects off and this is what it sounds like dry.
Right, listen up. We're going in hard and rough. No point in playing tough. We're going in hard and rough.
And with the effects, it sounds like this.
Right, listen up. We're going in hard and rough. No point in playing tough. We're going in hard and rough.
Okay, so I like being very efficient, and since the vocals came from the same source and I used the same tweakings inside Cubase on all of the vocal bits, I didn't need to tweak each of the Swedish gadget individually. So if you look at the insert effect slot and we go into, let's say, the equalizers, then you can see that I'm using the exact same settings. And this is true for all of the effects that I've put in here. So we basically only need to go through one channel strip, but I will A/B all of the vocals for you. But let's start with having a look at the channel strip and what I've done with all the effects here. Now for me, as usual, the most important stuff are the equalizers. So let's turn off the delay and reverb, and I'm gonna A/B the most important equalizer. And why I'm pointing to this one is because the first equalizer is only here to make the vocals less bassy, but the final equalizer here, I've used this one to actually shape my sound the way I want it. And that's why I also put it after all the other effects here, even after the reverb and stuff. I wanted as much control as possible over the sound.
Right, listen up. Right, listen up. We're going in hard and rough. We're going in hard and rough.
For an aggressive track like this, I needed a much harsher type of vocal. Now, I was considering maybe putting a distortion unit on there, but I decided against that in the end and just tweaked the equalizer to my taste. So let's have a look inside the equalizer here. As you can see, I've touched nothing in the high frequency area because the vocals themselves are rich in the high frequency stuff. I've removed a bit from the low end. I put the frequency knob around 610 Hz, so in the lower mids, and I pulled it down 3 3.2 decibels, and that's just to remove any type of boominess. So if we look at the mids here, we can see that I am actually amplifying a frequency, and that's because I was hunting for a place inside the frequency range where the vocals were harsh, and that place was around 2700 Hertz. Now, I wasn't trying to amplify a certain frequency, I wanted to amplify a range of frequencies, and that's why I put the Q point around 2.8. If I would have put the Q point at 10, I would have gotten a point like this, but now I've got it even out like this, so I'm amplifying a wide range of frequencies. And so this equalizer is actually what's giving my vocals that harsh sound. Now, I've got an obligatory compressor here, and the reason why I put it after the delay instead of in front of the delay is that I wanted the delay tail under control. And so the order in which you put in your insert effects, no matter what DAW you're working inside, is going to affect the final sound. Especially for beginners out there, it's a good way of learning about effects and processors by switching the order around and seeing what happens. And then I've just put a delay on here, and there's not much to say about that. It's a delay. So if you want to see these settings, you can just pause the video and you'll have the settings right in view. Now, I also wanted the vocals to spread out inside my track and fill out some stuff. And that's why I'm using this reverb. When I work with vocals, I usually don't make the reverbs so big. So that's why I pull down on the size. The vocals needed to be clear. And that's why I've put the level or the blend mode quite low. You can see that that's very low, just there to fill out some space, not to blur it up. And that's basically what I did with all of the vocal channels. So let's have a quick listen to the last two and what they sound like with and without effects.
Step back, this is my sound system. 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 Now, I've told you once, and I'm not telling you again. So listen, step off. Keep your feet off my beat. Now, I've told you once, and I'm not telling you again. So listen, step off. Keep your feet off my beat.
And to finalize this episode, I can proudly announce that I am sharing these vocals in their dry state without the effects in a zipped file on a Dropbox account. So you can reach that zipped file and download it and use these vocals for yourself by tapping or clicking the link down in the description. You can also find an app link for KORG Gadget if you want to go grab it for yourself. Well, there you go. That concludes the fourth and final part of this 8-bit dubstep production series. If you want to see more KORG Gadget series, I've already got two other series. One about drum and bass and one about UK garage type of music. It's called Post Dubstep. You can find links to those playlists down in the description, and you can also find them at the very end where all the boxes pops up with the videos and stuff. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. I've also got a Patreon page, so if you want to support creativity and good content here on YouTube, and if you find value in the content I produce, then why not sign up on Patreon? I've also got a PayPal me link, so if you don't want to do Patreon, then you can do a one-off donation if you'd rather do that. Now, if you don't want to do Patreon or PayPal, then you can always share my videos, click the thumbs up, and if you subscribe, don't forget to press in the little bell thing that pops up right beside the subscription button, because that way you'll get notified whenever I make and upload new videos. As usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff and have a lot of fun doing it.
Right, listen up. We're going in hard and rough. No point in playing tough. We're going in hard and rough. Step back, this is my sound system. 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 Now, I've told you once, and I'm not telling you again. So listen.